Joining me now on the phone is CBS News senior investigative producer Pat Milton. Pat, you've been following this investigation from the beginning and also breaking news that moves it forward. What do we know now? What's the latest?
Well, I think the latest that came out of this news conference is that officials are saying that in probing the blasts in New York and New Jersey, they have found no evidence so far that the suspect in the attacks was part of a broader terrorist cell. They said that, they found that comforting at this point. But, of course, the investigation is still in the early stages, and they're still continuing to investigate, and they're trying to determine whether there are any other associates had a role or even knowledge of what was going on. They won't discuss the rest of the investigation, but they said as far as we are concerned right now, they are not actively looking for anyone else.
Now, Pat, there have been 2 explosions and 2 suspicious items found in the past 36 to 48 hours. How many of those have been definitively tied to the suspect by law enforcement, and how many are still yet to be connected?
Well, they connected Romani to the bombing. One of them was because of a fingerprint they said was belonging to the suspect, to him, was found on one of the bombing devices in New York. They're also looking to tie him to New Jersey by a flip phone, cell phone that was found there.
But the race attack in New Jersey, or the attempted attack on the train station?
The Seaside Heights in New Jersey.
But it seems that the Elizabeth train station attack, or attempted attack, it was left out of the press conference. They didn't mention that they were able at this point to tie the suspect to that bombing. I assume they're trying to, but has that link been made?
I don't know whether the link's been made. They're still looking into it, and obviously they're highly suspicious because that's where he was living with his family in Linden, New Jersey.
The police commissioner in New York, James O'Neill, and also Mayor de Blasio both referenced a question in regards to if there are any more possibility of any more bombs that may be planted in the area. Neither really answered clearly. The only thing that they would say is that New Yorkers should feel like they are safe, that they have investigators on this, and that they have made an arrest, and right now this is the only arrest that they are expecting to make at this point in the investigation. Is that what you were hearing as well?
Yes, well, I'm hearing that NYPD has done an extraordinary job in fanning out throughout the area with dogs and all kinds of detection devices looking for the possibility of any bombs. But as the mayor suggested, everyone has got to remain vigilant, just like the people in Linden, New Jersey, notifying police when they found the backpack that was containing the bomb. So I think that we should try to remain vigilant as to any other explosive devices that may be planted somewhere.
And what about,
but they feel confident at this point that they've got them all.
What about Rahami? I mean, are we learning any more about his background? I mean, we know that he worked for his family at a fried chicken restaurant. He lived upstairs from there. People that frequented that restaurant were quoted in some articles on the Associated Press saying that he seemed like a nice guy, normal guy. That seems to be, though, the initial description of past suspects at the beginning of investigations.
Well, the profile of him is still emerging. We know that he came to this country from Afghanistan, and we don't know that much about his background. We know that he was working at the fast food restaurant that his family ran in New Jersey, and we also know the family lived above that restaurant.
Additionally, he traveled to Afghanistan, perhaps to visit family, perhaps for other reasons, a few years ago. What are law enforcement doing, or what's your understanding of what's being done to probe that potential connection?
Yeah, we're still looking into that and trying to confirm his travel, what kind of travel he did, where was he, and who was he meeting with. And they're still trying to put those pieces together.
Have you learned anything more about where he may have bought his ingredients to build these bombs, all of the supplies?
Well, they haven't told us of all the ingredients that made up these bombs, but most of these bombs, with the pressure cooker bomb and also the pipe bomb, they're ready available over the counter. There was three pipe bombs that were knitted together that was used at Seaside Heights on Saturday at the Marine race. And we know one of those bombs went off and the other two did not. We also know there was a cell phone. We don't know whether that was used to detonate, but it appears that it was the ignition source. And then we know that they're looking at whether black powder was used in the devices in New York. And again, that is easily available commercially.
All right, Pat Milton, this is an evolving situation, obviously, for law enforcement, but also for journalists. So we're going to let our CBS News senior investigative reporter, Pat Milton, go back to the phones. Pat, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.